Okay, shine a light where it first starts. No, there is rats in here. We didn't know that. Shine the flashlight on the handprint, Robin.
High on Hazel Mountain in Dickenson County, an old trailer and rusting cars remain frozen in time. Silent witnesses to a 35-year-old mystery.
Rodney and I were just 6 years difference in age. So we sort of grew up together.
32-year-old Rodney Kiser was known across Dickenson County, a deputy, store owner, and to his niece Marlene, almost like a brother.
We used to play cowboys and Indians and marbles and checkers, and he was real funny.
By the late 1980s, Kiser had left the sheriff's department and was running a small country store in Trammell.
They called him Enos and Barney Five just because he was, slender, and everybody in the community knows everybody. Everybody's pretty much about related to everybody.
But in 1990, Rodney's life took a complicated turn.
He was dating a married woman, and she moved in with him, which she sort of denies.
The two were living in his home, not far away from the property he bought on Hazel Mountain.
My sister was about 12 years old or so. She waited on him to come home from the store to help work on a lawnmower. He came and helped on the lawnmower and then went back out. And then later on that night, my mom saw him leave out, going somewhere.
Investigators found his truck at his Hazel Mountain property and signs of a struggle.
Blood spatter on the walls.
Chief Investigator Mike Stidham has worked for the Sheriff's Department for 30 years. He remembers hearing of the case when he was in high school. Now it's a file that never leaves his desk.
This is the one case I want to close before I retire.
Stidham has tracked every lead, revisiting old interviews and gathering family members to reconstruct the night Rodney disappeared.
Was able to gather most of the family together, the ones that were still living a couple years ago, got them all together and interviewed them. And I've actually spoke to every investigator that's worked this case, that's had their hands on this case, trying to find what information that they have.
Stidham says Rodney's truck offered strange clues. The keys still in the ignition, parked differently than he ever left it, and another detail stood out.
There's been some talk that the tailgate was up and that he was very superstitious and always traveled with the tailgate down.
After decades of rumors, possible motives, and dead-end tips, Stidham believes someone out there still knows the truth.
Finding the right person that actually knows is the issue. And I feel like there's still somebody out there that knows.
Over the years, Marlene has drawn her own theories of what happened that day. She's always been skeptical of Rodney's girlfriend's family.
He had a disagreement with her father at one point in time. Her father's known to have a bad reputation. He, at one time, shot at Rodney and threatened Rodney at one time.
The girlfriend recently confronted her.
She said, if you don't stop your shit, I'm going to bring you down.
Those accusations, though, have never led to charges.
I think she knows something. She might not know everything, but I think she knows something of what happened to him, regardless of who did it.
In 1991, she wrote a letter to the editor in the Dickenson County Star, accusing then-Sheriff Avery Phipps of holding back the investigation because Rodney campaigned against him.
And then the sheriff telling the investigator, he told me personally, he said, there were certain things that I wanted to do on this case, but he would not let me do it. I've been told the sheriff at the time, Avery Phipps, was good friends with his girlfriend's father and helped with his campaign.
3.5 decades later, the pain hasn't faded, and for Rodney's family, the message remains the same.
I hope that somebody would find it in their heart to come forward and tell at least where he's at. You know, if we could at least find his body and have that closure, and then we could work on actually what maybe happened to him. As years pass, people that played a part in his disappearance, you know, have died or maybe getting old and sick, and you know, it's just going to be less and less easier to try to have closure and find his body and what happened to him.
A family still waiting, and a case that has never gone cold for them. If you have any information about the disappearance of Rodney Kiser, contact the Dickenson County Sheriff's Office at 276-926-1600.